Good evening and welcome to the Speaker MC Show, where it is all about relationships. Today we have a very interesting topic, and it's about our money mindset. So I am happy and grateful that you are here with us tonight, because we're going to be talking about why am I so broke? Yes, very interesting topic. And today being, it's not April 30th, that's for sure. That is a definite typo. But today is October 22nd, and we are talking about our money mindset. And this is the Speaker MC Show. And if this is your first time joining us on the Speaker MC Show, what you'll realize is that this is what you're going to get. We're going to introduce and give you an overview of today's topic. Then we'll take a little break, a pause, word from our sponsors. Then we'll come back and we'll say hello to our guests. Yes, two powerhouse women on our show tonight. And then we'll go deeply into discussing about tonight's show topic. Then we'll come back and take a pause, and then you'll be able to meet our guests. Just chat with them, have some Q&A. Ask them a little bit about themselves. They'll tell you why they got into the business that they're in and how you can connect with them. Excuse me. And how you can connect with them. I guess that was a true word. And then we'll depart for the evening. So tonight's show, as I said, is why am I so broken? We're talking about money mindset. And have you ever heard the phrase, time is money? Is it really? If I work harder and longer hours, then will I make more money? I don't know. I don't know about that, because I saw this article, and this article was taken from the New York Times. And I'm just going to read a little excerpt of it. It says, worker dead at desk for 5 days. So bosses of a publishing firm are trying to find out why no one noticed that one of their employees had been sitting dead at his desk for 5 days before anyone asked if he was feeling okay. The gentleman's name was George Turkelbaum, and he was 51 years old, and he was employed at the firm as a proofreader for 30 years. He died of a heart attack. So the moral of this story is, you may want to give your coworkers a nudge occasionally, right? Because don't work too hard, because nobody's going to notice anyway. What I always say is, work was here before I came, and work will be here after I'm gone. Another old wives' tale that you may be privy to is, where's the money tree? I can't afford that. How many of our parents have said that to us? Or how about, save all your money? Yeah, these are topics that we will be touching on tonight on the Speaker MC Show. And what's the Speaker MC Show? Well, this show is all about relationships. It's how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to our environment, and how we relate to others. It's 60 minutes of candid conversation with me, your host, Speaker MC, and two guests, two powerhouse women. Yes, that's who we're having tonight. And our intention for bringing this information to you is, one, for you, the audience, to empower and enlighten you about just creating harmonious environments and boosting your self-confidence. And for our guests is to provide a platform and an opportunity so that they can share their message. And it's for everyone to just have fun, candid conversations. So tonight, let's take a little pause before we dive deep and introduce our guests. And this is a word from our sponsors. So here we have the Mistress Academy, and it's coming soon to your computer. The Mistress Academy. It's about changing your perspective about sex, sexual wellness, and toys. It's 12 weeks. It's an online experience that focuses on 7 main topics that we discuss in S.W.E.L.L for women. What is SWELL for women? It's sexual wellness and empowered living lifestyles for women. And you may choose to experience these salon-style courses individually, or you may tie them together. Any which way, you'll be celebrated. All these courses talk about sex and sexual wellness. And you meet your supportive community. You engage in 12 weekly virtual group calls. You enjoy an exclusive VIP discount. And your bonus is that you receive a 40% discount when you become a S.W.E.L.L member. So go to http://mistress. That's http://bit.ly/MIS That's mistress. And sign up now so you'll be first to know when it's coming to your computer. That's the Mistress Academy. All right. So welcome back. And let's talk to our guests. Now, we had scheduled 2 powerhouse women. It's unfortunate that our first guest, Miss Dillis Victoria, Dillis had surgery the other day, and she called and asked if she could be excused from our TV show tonight. So prayers, light and love to you, Dillis. We love you and we miss you. But I'll still give her a shout out because Dillis is from this Dillis Victoria Media Experience, and she's located in the Savannah, Georgia area. Her area of expertise is helping purpose-driven influencers to share their most exceptional parts of themselves within their story to get featured in the media. And please try and connect with her. Not try, but please connect with her. And she's at www.dillis.com. And her phone number is 347-863-8813. Yes, she used to be a New York City veteran. That's right. She used to be here with us in New York City. So check out Dillis at dillis.com. Well, even though Dillis could not be here with us tonight, we have another powerhouse. Yes, this powerhouse, you definitely have to be in contact with her because her name is Miss Lolita Thomas. And Lolita is the owner and operator of Money Magnet Universe out there in Fresno, California. What's she doing in Fresno? Fresno, California. Well, she's bringing the Money Magnet Universe to Fresno. That's what she's doing. Her area of expertise is coaching, personal development, and she's also a strategist. You can connect with her at www.moneymagnetuniverse.com, and her phone number is 510-457-6754. That's 510-457-6754. Lolita is also a wake-up artist. Yes, she's committed to waking you up to your greatness because she focuses in on 5 areas: personal self-care, money, business, and spiritual. Her gift for you tonight is 30 minutes of coaching in a group setting. So please put your hands together and help me welcome Miss Lolita Thomas. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hi, Lolita.
Hi, how are you? This is so cool.
I am fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. And welcome to the SpeakerMC Show tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
It's such an honor having you here on our show, gracing our stage. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I feel like it's an honor to be invited. Super excited about being here, sharing nuggets, sharing knowledge. You are always so generous in what you contribute. So this is my opportunity to be a part of your world.
Woo-hoo!
Super excited.
Yes, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And in case you're wondering, who is that screaming woman? Well, that's me. My name is SpeakerMC Marcia Chambers, aka SpeakerMC, and I am the founder and creator of S.W.E.L.L for Women. excuse me, my area of expertise is helping women who are lonely in their relationships to go from sexless to steamy. That's right. That's what I do. Sexless to steamy. That's me all day. You can reach out to me at marciachambers.com. That's marciachambers.com. And just for being here tonight, I always give gifts because that's my love language. And text MC Engage to 44222. That's MC Engage to the number 44222. And a little bit about me. As a speaker and sexual wellness consultant, my mission is to reduce the world's divorce rate by 50%. And that's why I created S.W.E.L.L for Women, because I saw so many people just exchanging DNA without asking the right questions beforehand. And then they subject the rest of us to all their dysfunctions, right? And my message focuses on women about having better sex, better intimacy, so that they're better parents and they're better partners. And it's just through the sexual wellness and competence that they give themselves the permission to be sensual, to be sexual, and to begin to lead empowered lifestyles. So check me out. I have podcasts, radio show, TV shows such as this in an effort to just positively impact and shift the paradigm in adult women about sex and female sexuality. All right. So we are going to talk about our subject, but let me give you a little bit of context because this is just very informal conversation and we're talking about why am I so broke? You know, it's all about the money mindset. We're going to talk about the conditioning that we've had and what is the impact. So mindset, we talk a lot about mindset. What the hell is mindset? Well, it's a set of beliefs. It's the established set of attitudes held by someone. This is the dictionary definition. So that's what mindset is. You know, your parents used to say, money doesn't grow on trees. Well, how has that concept tainted you as an adult? Has it made you feel like, oh, well, I can't afford that because money doesn't grow on trees, right? Or what about time is money? You work hard, work long hours, then you can climb the corporate ladder. Yeah, you climb the corporate ladder and then what? Then you have no time for your family. You have no time for your friends. You have no time for yourself. Now, why am I so broken? Our mindset is what we're going to discuss tonight. We're going to talk about those old wives' tales that we've been told. Are we continuously just exchanging time for dollars like an employee or even as business owners? Are we acting as an employee in our business? And what's the impact of that? So our guest tonight, we'll talk about some solutions, how to release the fear around money. So let us stop sharing that screen and let us go deep into our discussion tonight. Yes. Ooh, Lolita. I love it. Lolita on the left, Lolita on the right. I'm so right.
That is funny. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to come off of the phone and do it that way.
Okay, no, that's fine. That is fine. I love it like that. I love it like that. So Lolita, welcome again to the SpeakerMC Show. And as I said, we are talking about the money mindset. Why am I so broken? You know, there's so many people who have a fear around money. Would you or would you not agree? You were muted.
I totally agree.
Yes, absolutely. And especially women. You know, women tend to feel like I can't balance my checkbook. I can't hold any money in the bank because let my husband do it or let the man of the house do it. Well, suppose you're single, then what? You're gonna let your child do it? You're gonna let somebody else do that? So what is it that promotes this this fear around money? Because, yeah, let's talk about that. A lot of people say, oh, I can't afford this. Money doesn't grow on trees.
Mm.
Those are wives' tales that still prevail.
Absolutely. I would say let's take a step backwards, before we can kind of look at the symptom or the end result. We have to look at where is the seed. And if we don't look at the seed, then it's hard to actually begin to uproot and get to the bottom line. So I think what we see out here, to your point, are folks who have been nurturing these seeds that then sprout into fear, anxiety, overwhelm. They begin to embrace cultural doctrine around what you can and cannot do. So what I would do first is we would all need to kind of look back at, where did this all begin, right? Where did it all start? So that way you can locate and find the source of the issue and begin to heal that. And so I love the mindset conversation, because unless you shift your mind, you're not going to be able to shift anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so mind shifting, it takes work. Sometimes we think, oh, if we just say something differently, I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't happen easily like that. What you need to do first is begin to look at, what are you thinking? Take inventory of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then begin to put in practices, both daily and weekly, to support you to shift the mindset. And I usually say over 90 days to 6 months. A lot of people like that 30 days and then I'm brand new.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
Mm-hmm.
None of that happening here.
But, to your point about the seeds, where did it start? A lot of it starts with our conditioning from our parents, and they were conditioned by their parents. So it's like a societal seedling. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I think sometimes we put a lot on our parents. Some parents have done a great job. And then, you have to think of the influencers in your life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you may have had an amazing family who were amazing with their money. Maybe they didn't share that with you. Maybe they were great. And then you went out into the world and you thought the folks around you knew more, and you began to adopt that. So you just have to source wherever it started from so that you can begin to shift it. So sometimes that is true.
So I guess you do advocate what they say, that you are a product of your 5 people that you hang around. So if you
Absolutely.
hang around some broke ass friends, you're one of the broke ass friends.
Or susceptible to being broke in your mindset. Like sometimes I think about friends. Some people have different skill sets and different strengths. And so maybe 4 of them are bad, but your father was like, or your mother was like, don't get in the car with those 4 boys or 4 girls or those 4 people. And you're like, but I'm not doing that. I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get in the car, they go do what they do, and then you get caught up. Now you didn't do nothing. You was just in the car. That's what happens in life. What happens is, it's like, I know they got those thoughts and I got my thoughts. Then you wake up and then you realize, oh my gosh, I adopted those thoughts.
And yeah, that's absolutely true. And how you can, it takes work, as you said, to get out of that mindset. Because I always go back to, and I'm trying to remember his name now, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh,
so he had
Kiyosaki.
Kiyosaki, that's right. Kiyosaki had 2 representations of a father figure. And one was his real biological dad, who work hard, you got to have that job mentality. And the other was the free going, like, hey, I'm an investor, I'm a this, I'm a that. And he started to subscribe to that dad's work ethic, as opposed to his biological father. So yeah, you can change it by adopting a different principle. It just takes a decision to do that, right?
A choice.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this question. what do you think is the difference between, because people always say, oh man, I'm broke, I'm broke. Is there a difference between somebody talking about being broke and being poor?
I love that distinction. So, broke is a circumstance, right? It is a situation in time. The question is, will you measure yourself to your situation? Being poor is actually a state of your economy. So, depending on what you subscribe to, you become. So, I don't say use any of those words. What I usually say is, oh, I have an opportunity. Oh, here's an awesome challenge. Okay, this is an opportunity to grow. You know, like I began to look at it from a lesson perspective. And so I would like to offer even the replacing of those two words, because while broke is a situation, sometimes you will repeat your situation. So you know how you get on the phone with your girls or your guys or whomever, and you're like, I'm broke, I ain't got no money, da, 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 da. You know, you're kind of reveling in it. Versus being, you know what, I'm having a challenge at the moment and I'm going to have a breakthrough there. So, or it's not on my budget. A lot of us don't operate from a budget. You know, I'm out here in Las Vegas, and being here, you know, I'm reminiscent of times before, you know, when I was like doing this, shopping, eating, doing it, whatever. And so this trip, I'm on a budget. Which doesn't mean that I can't do things. It just means that I'm being extremely mindful of what's occurring. And so I just wanted to offer that.
So I'm glad that you offered that. But I mean, it takes a lot to say, you know, I'm broke and then not follow through with it and revel in it. That's true. But I heard that one has more of a permanent connotation than the other. Like you said, broke is a circumstance, and we don't have to be married to our circumstance, right? We can say, well, our circumstance is temporary. So wouldn't you give that kind of relief that, yeah, I'm broke right now, but it doesn't mean that I'm a broke person.
Right.
Right.
Well, I get where you're going with this. It goes back to mindset, right? So it's almost like potato. While you will not be ran by your circumstances, or most of us are ran by our circumstances, extremely around money. We tend to make all our choices, thoughts, choices in marriage, choices on how you raise your children, usually based on money. I would say 40%, 50, 60% money, and then there's the values and ethics that also play a part. But you start losing money, this broke, poor communication could, you know, sometimes be like, which one am I in? So what I tend to do is say, let's not even focus on those two pieces, because either way you go, you can end up in a permanency of poor. So you fall into the mindset of being broke and you keep producing the same results called being broken. You will be in a state of being poor.
That sounds like a dis-ease. Ooh. So further to the seedlings, right? And I like that you said that it's all a mindset, because it really is. How can we start recognizing that in ourselves? So I usually ask, well, what's your belief about debt? Because a lot of people tend to think that, well, you know, debt is bad. And really, debt is good. Me personally have changed my mind, because I used to be one of those, like, Jesus, I gotta pay this damn debt. This debt is killing me. You know, so that mindset, right? So now I have my perspective change, and I look at debt as, oh my God, they trusted me enough to give this to me so that I could pay them later. Or these are my creditors, you know? So do you think, what are your perspectives about debt? What's your belief about debt and paying debts?
Well, first of all, we get an attitude when it comes to debt, as
Mm-hmm.
if, it's almost like feeling not privileged, but I can't think of the word at the moment, but really assuming that like someone has done something to you. I like the perfect example. Most folks like to go buy new cars or buy a car on credit. And I'm telling you, folks were like, oh my God, God bless me. I feel so good, and they just hallelujah it up. And then 6 months, a year down the road, oh girl, I gotta pay for this car note and I got this insurance. And it's almost like you have forgotten the gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when I think of debtors, I don't really think of them from the aspect of what they're doing to me, as I begin to look at who am I being in terms of gratefulness that they were willing to trust my word, my commitment, my signature, so that not only I could have what I want now, but really allow me enough trust to have it out for a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever your agreement is. I think that's the same thing around a house. A lot of people have gone into foreclosure and lost homes or had to do short sales or whatever the thing might have been. Going in, everything looks like the blessing. What happens is, and that's an attribute of the mindset, that this is not a sprint. This is a cross-country run. So going in, you want to begin to look, will the blessing over time still be the blessing? So even if you're upside down, let's just say, life happened. It's not the debtor's fault, right? You get to own, like, wow, I get to really have a conversation with them because they thought enough of me. I get to be responsible to them because I gave my word. You get to own it. And I think a lot of times, when we talk about being broken or, living from a state of poorness, the broken part in the brain is really forgetting the aspect of the flip side.
What do you mean forgetting
forgetting the flip side?
The flip side, yeah.
Yeah. The flip side is,
I had a problem with that word.
That's okay. The flip side is that they think enough of you to extend that credit.
Okay.
To extend that blessing. Right? So we just get stuck on, I got blessed, now they bothering me. I got blessed, now why I gotta pay that? I got blessed, and why, so it's always this way of being that somebody's out to get you. And the part of the flip side is, let me remember I got blessed, and the blessing in return is to fulfill on my debt.
So basically acknowledge and be grateful, and don't get all drawn into this fear that could probably be as a result of, oh my God. So remembering that you gave your word. I like to say that when we were born, when we made our grand entry, we came here, there was no Gucci glasses, no Fendi purse, no Leblanc shoes. We came here butt naked, only with our word. And if we can't even honor our word, then who are we? Who are we?
You look at the state of today and you see who we are. That's the other thing, is that I think we are so individualized. I got mine, you get yours. I got mine, you get yours. So with that kind of mentality, you have a state of siloedness, individuality so disconnected from another. Before, even when we were in our communities, if someone was hungry and and someone had food, they were connected enough in that community to be like, oh, let me go share, or tell them to come on over to the house. These days, we're embarrassed. Even if we have folks like that in the neighborhood, we have taken it so personal as an affront to who we are, versus looking at it like a circumstance, that we won't even ask, or we won't even be open and transparent enough. So when I'm talking about mindset, it stems from how I see myself. So what happens is the money tends to dictate us. So when I have money, I'm good. When I don't have money, I'm bad. I'm shamed. I'm embarrassed.
So I want to go back to what you said about the borrowing, right? Being siloed. So I had a conversation the other day with a good friend, and she relocated to another area. And she said, she was so funny. She said, I don't know why this woman keeps knocking on my goddamn door. Every 5 minutes she wants sugar, or she wants salt, or she wants some goddamn thing. So she says to me in the conversation, she says, you know, I don't know what's up with these broke ass people. Doesn't she go to the supermarket? I thought about it and I said, you know, maybe she just wants to connect with you. And that's just the easiest way to connect with you. So going back to your point about being siloed, and we're so individualized. Oh, you get yours. I went to the supermarket. I got my food. Why can't you get your food? Right?
Right.
It is so predominant in our culture these days because we are so drawn to the mobile phone and the, you know, all of that. So we're focused right here. Our span is right here. It's no longer here. What happened to it takes a village to raise a child? No longer. Right. So yeah, to your point, I just wanted to bring up that little anecdote, you know.
Yes, I love it.
Oh my goodness. Woo! And the other thing I wanted to ask, with regard to changing our mindset around the fear of money, could we explore how open we are to receiving? And I'm speaking to our culture of women who we do everything for everyone. And I even say, you know, my love language is gifting. But how open am I to receiving a gift or some measure of a gift from somebody else, whether it's man, woman, boy, girl, just any modicum. Oh, here's a pen. Oh, no, it's okay. I have one. You know, refusing gifts, right?
Yes.
So what is your take on being able to receive, and especially receive money?
Well, I think, you know, you have to look at yourself of where you are on the pendulum. You know, you could be way over here to I give, to way over here, I take. And usually, you know, we're not in a normal space of being in the center of what's called reciprocity, giving and receiving. So so right now I'm looking at the person who's heavy on the giving and not receiving space. I think both sides of the pendulum, it's an affect and effect of how they have seen themselves based on feedback of the world. And then internally, what they tell themselves. So, you know, I used to be, and I still am, I'm a heavy giver, but I've learned how to be a heavy receiver also. But while I was a heavy, first of all, it was unconscious. Because in my mind, if I was loving you, it doesn't matter, man, woman, child, whatever, I just wanted to just give. And what I didn't realize, what was in the way, is I had no room for how they shared with me, is that there was no room for them to give to me. They didn't know what to give. They're like, she has it all, she does it all, she goes everywhere, you know, she's pretty, she's this, she's that, she's successful. How can I contribute to her? So what I was doing, even though I was in a conversation called I Would Love to Receive, folks that wanted to give to me couldn't even see a window of opportunity. And so how I broke that cycle is I began to be more self-conscious inside of, okay, Lolita, you don't have to show up this way and still be able to contribute. And so what I did is I started to share the things that weren't working, the things that, you know, had some gaps. Folks could see me more as a human being, relatable to who they were, so that an opening could show up. So now when those openings showed up, I was almost like overwhelmed because I never really, because in my mind, I was thinking, oh, you don't have to give to me. I'm good. I'm good. But what I realized is I was ripping them off.
Yes.
So I was getting all the joy, right? I didn't even see it like this. I was like, I'm getting all the super duper joy of giving. And I don't even realize that I don't allow them to share their way of blessing me.
Exactly.
So the moment I got that, I was able to kind of just be like, oh, and like I'm telling you anything, an orange, you know, some water, like it's a big deal. And then they just felt like, oh my gosh, so more connected. And I can tell you exponentially over my life, specifically in the last 5 years, the contributions that have come through are staggering. And now I get this reciprocity, and I share it this way because sometimes we tend to make each other wrong about giving and receiving, right? And so I wanted to share from this perspective because sometimes we're not aware that we're heavy givers. So then the second piece, I just want to share one other piece to this giving space. So that's one perspective. Another perspective of giving are usually like caretakers, right? It becomes their self-identity. They won't let nobody do nothing. They won't let nobody get in the kitchen and cook. This is my kitchen. Take me longer to teach you. Don't clean my house. I got my house. You know, don't do this. Don't do that. Like, it's almost like they're controlling the space. And so internally, it's really almost like a boundary or a fort that they have kind of safeguarded them. I can give to you, but you can't do nothing for me. I can do it to you, but you can do it for me. And so that is a space of usually self-esteem, self-worth,
Get out of my head, will you?
trust, abandonment. Like if I start liking how you're giving to me, you might disappear. I don't want my heart broken. I can handle me giving it to you because I'm pure, but you give it to me. And it's 1000% about control. Even, and you have to think this, overtly or covertly, you can be a controller.
But what about those who, because I've experienced where they'll just give, don't want you to do anything, and then after they give,
complain.
Like, what the fuck? You know, really? You offered to do that, so now you're gonna bitch about it? And then to the other side of the pendulum, what about those who they give because they feel obligated to do so, whatever the circumstance is, and then they're also scared to ask to receive?
Yeah, I think it all falls into the same really bucket. It's just different expressions of it. I think a lot of times at the root, like we started earlier, going back to like, where does this stem from? A lot of it is based in really self-preservation, right? And a lot of folks are not going to like this. It also stems from really either attempting not to be a victim, which is a way of victimizing, or always producing an opportunity to victimize yourself. So that those who give, and then want to complain, that is a state of victimness. Because there was no discipline or consciousness to what would serve you and me. So the way I look at it is, and Ayana Van Zandt shared this on one of her shows. She talks about how can I give you a cup that isn't full? So what you need to do is have your cup runneth over, and all that runneth over goes to everybody else. Everything that fills the cup is for me. So to that point, I like to say is, unless your cup is filled and you are handled, you are healthy, you are clear, what are you really giving?
Okay. So we covered the givers and we covered the giving complainers. What about the takers? Them bastards just piss me off. They just come and they just take, and have no kind of consideration that, you know, maybe she needs something too, or maybe he needs something too. No kind of consideration. But then does that onus now point the finger back? Because, you know, you point the finger, the thumb points back at you. So does the thumb point back at you for not asking? You just allow them to take, just take. I mean, them bastards.
So, how I always hold it is you have to have two. To be a victim, you have to have a victimizer, and to be a victimizer, you have to have a victim. So for a taker, they have to be connected to a giver, so that the same perpetual madness happens. It's just a flip flop of it. You know, I wish it was like one personality does this and another person. No, it's just the front of the hand, back of the hand. The question is just which role are you playing? So I like to go back into the space of victimizer, because this gives you an opportunity to empower yourself. You know, I think about it like in protection. You know, as a woman, you could be walking around scared somebody's going to rape you and steal you and beat you and do all these things that could really happen? Or are you going to take your life back into control and go and find out how to protect yourself, find the measures to support yourself so that you can walk around tall and strong? Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means that when it happens, I will be prepared and I have made myself fortified and ready to go.
So what are some of these measures that you can advocate so that we don't think, oh my God, I'm just so broke, I'm so poor, you know, to shift that mindset, to shift that mental thinking, to get away from the victimhood? What are some of the measures, that simple actionable items that we can incorporate? You know, because I'm pretty sure all of us are touched at some point with some of the victim mentality. Nobody's perfect, right?
Well, I believe that perfection is yet another carrot, right? You're just like running after an empty carrot. So I don't relate to any human being as perfect. I think we have been perfectly designed to be imperfect. So I don't think any of these measures, and as a human, if you were perfect, you probably would never transform and die or transition out. You know, you would never probably experience the dynamic emotions that are available. Imperfection offers a lot. It offers a...
Lolita?
Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can. Yeah, you got frozen for a minute.
Okay.
You said imperfection offers a lot.
Yes, I think it's from those cracked spaces you're able to see shards of yourself that are so beautiful, if you allow them to be looked at, learned from, and embraced. So in terms of simple measures, next actionable steps, my first thing is always, you can't change something that you don't know. So the first thing you have to do is start becoming aware.
Right.
Just check yourself out. My request is don't judge yourself. Don't analyze yourself. Just notice. Just notice who you're being. See how you do your thing. See how you pay your bills. See how you engage other people around money. Do you get anxiety? Do you get all weirded out? Are you always complaining about every penny that goes out of your pocket? Are you a workaholic? Like, if I just don't keep working, I won't have enough. I have to have enough, you know? Or maybe are you that kind of person that is like, you know, I'm just caught up in my situation and I'm on disability and I don't know, I don't want to mess that up. Just notice who you are, right? And by noticing who you are, then you'll be able to take inventory. That would be the second step. Take inventory on your engagement, and I'm talking about specifically money and your emotion to it. So begin to take an inventory there. Then have a second sheet and begin to take an inventory of those people around you. And how are they doing?
Your 5 closest friends.
Yes, I would even say 10, okay? And by friends, I would even go a step further and say the core folks, like your husband, your wife, your children, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins. Sometimes somehow they're not in the equation. Include them in the equation. So really, it's almost like I'm wearing this shirt. Whoever is close to you as your shirt, okay, or your undergarment. So take inventory there. That would be the second step. The third step is to, now that you know information, most of us be like, I know that. Like when she was bringing up Robert Kiyosaki, I was like, oh, I know about that. And, I've taught for him and, ran cash flow games and did all this stuff. Been coaching around business.
Cash flow?
Yes, ma'am. Cash flow. I've been coaching around business and money for quite some time. But who cares what I know? The question is, who am I being? Moment to moment. So the next step for you is to take this knowing into action and apply it. Because it don't matter what you know. We all know how to lose 10 pounds. We all know how to save $10. We all know how to brush our teeth. We all know that we should be exercising. We all know. The question is, what are you in action and what are you applying? Action, application, action, application. And usually the last step is turn those into practices. So take, 5 simple practices. Maybe one practice is now that I know who I'm being, I don't have a clue where my money is. So maybe a practice is I will create a budget.
Okay.
And every Sunday, I'll call that my money Sunday. And for an hour or two, depending on how you do your bills and everything, I'm going to create sacred space around that. So that will be my weekly practice. So on a daily basis, what I'm going to do is get an envelope and put my receipts in the envelope. And I'm going to write on front of it, I'm going to call it week 2 and the date. And then when Money Sunday comes around, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Practices.
I like that. So I like your steps, take inventory. No, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right?
Yes.
And then you take inventory and notice what your emotion is that's attached to the money. And then you say, knowing is one thing and taking action is another, which true. My thing that I would like to offer as far as an action step, so thank you for that. What I've been doing to release myself of any fears with regard to money is just being grateful. And you mentioned that earlier on in the program, that gratitude is that state of mind that just makes you just happy for what you have now. Not for, oh my God, I wish I had that, and then, I don't have it. Happy for what you have now. Because at the end of the day, whether it's totally 100% bought and paid for, or it's on credit, or it's charged, the fact that your word was something that was acknowledged by someone else who trusted you for you to have this, that's woo-woo. Thank you. I'm happy for that. So that's a different change in your mindset, right? And then the other thing that I wanted to add with regard to actionable items with regard to your budget, I love that you have the Sunday money. Is that Money Sunday? Money Sunday. Yeah.
It could be Money Monday. It could be Money Tuesday.
It could be money any day, right? And to my point, it's money any day. If you can find $5, people piss away $5 without a thought. If you can put $5 every day into some kind of a jar or something, at the end of a year, you have over $1,800. $5 a day. Just tuck it away and $5, 365 days in the year at $5 a day gives you, I wrote it down, $1,825 for the year.
Yes.
That, you'd be like, oh, I have an extra $1,000. Yeah, you could do something with that. Something, right? And to your point, it's not what you earn, it's what you keep.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is. I love that you gave that simplistic piece, because even though we're just like saying it like, it's bumping up against the mindset again, right? So $5, $1, a penny, whatever it might be, it will take a disciplined mind.
Exactly.
Because I promise you, what's going to bump up against that is the very thing that has you be where you're at. So you get into it, you have about $900 in, car breaks down. Well, the commitment was to go the full year. So the discipline of it, most of us don't have a disciplined way of being. We don't have a disciplined mind.
Instant gratification.
Right, we're reactionary. So I think that putting a simple practice in place like that begins to exercise those thoughts. It begins to exercise your word to yourself, and it reinforces the discipline within you.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Well, thank you for that. Yes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have received a wealth of knowledge and value here tonight, because now I would like to open up the floor and for you to just have interaction with our guests and with me if you choose to. Lolita, the floor is yours. Can you just let the audience know a little bit about you and what you do, how they can connect with you, and then I'll open up the floor for questions.
Oh, sure. So very much like Marcia Chambers had originally shared, I've been coaching since 1998. I've coached over 6,000 people. I have supported tons and tons of folks, anywhere from building businesses to their health to money, and personally in their own transitions and transactions. Where I'm focused in now currently is really supporting individuals to make that huge jump from where they are to where they're going as it relates to a money conversation. So what I did is I created the Money Magnet Universe last year, and we are in our 4th pilot. So we will be opening the official doors. We are completing the pilot process so everybody can jump into the pilot. That's a gift to you all at $100 tuition that supports all these components. In addition to that, starting in November, we will be opening our doors regularly at a $250 tuition. It's a 14 to 35 day workshop that happens virtually. You get tons of value. You have a meeting that happens 90 minutes once a week, and then you have coaching, group coaching, and personal coaching, and you just get to really create with a disciplined mind, taking whatever you have and building it exponentially. So you can reach us at wakeupcoachingnow@gmail.com, or you can just call me directly at 510-457-6754. I would say keep the website, www.moneymagnetuniverse.com, is down for construction. We are giving it a facelift. So that will give you an opportunity. And if for nothing else, I will extend until the end of this month, the 30-minute coaching sessions for you. Will be 20 minutes of coaching and then a debrief, and seeing if you'd like to take a next step. So with that, I just thank you so much for allowing me to bring my expertise to you.
Woohoo! Yes, love it, love it, love it. So now I open up the floor, and we have a good 5 minutes if anyone wants to engage with Lolita in any questions, any conversations, feedback about our subject matter, about what she has to offer, about her free gift. Anyone? And she loves to give too. And she doesn't complain. So I'll open up the floor if anyone wants to chime in and ask our guest any questions. Anybody? Going once?
I would like to say something. Oh, go ahead, Gloria.
Go ahead, Gloria. Hey, welcome, Gloria.
Hello, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. No, I'm interested. I'm interested in your class because I need it. I need the coaching. I need my mother always used the word broke and money ain't shit. And I meant to say that to you the other night at our event, as far as writing down. And those things have always stuck with me. money ain't shit and I'm broke. It comes and it goes. But what I love and what I heard, and I'm sorry I got on a little bit late because I had another meeting, but it's the discipline of the mind.
Mhm.
And that's what I know I need. It's the disciplining of my mind to be able to set certain, patterns or something in place to keep myself going. And so I am interested in getting more information about the money magnet and possibly looking into taking a course. So yay! Thank you.
Yes.
I love that you mentioned that, because in our logo that we are transforming, it shows a money tree. And so, we're an advocate of definitely using your gifts and talents that naturally come to you. And out of that, money grows on a tree. It doesn't feel like it because we have related to like maybe sitting on a beach or, being like doing nothing and then money's just on the tree. I don't know what that thought process is. But when you do what you love and do what you're passionate about, that is what we convey as growing money on a tree. So we say, yes, money grows on trees. We dispel those haunting thoughts that have either been gifted to you from the past so that you are free to choose the kinds of thoughts you say you want. So we support you in shifting your mindset. So
thank you.
Maria.
Yes.
Thank you.
So please make sure you reach out to Lolita.
I shall. I will. Thank
you. We have time for one more question. Anyone? Anyone?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, great blessings, great blessings. So, oh my goodness, which question? It's like I know the answers, but how do you like letting go of the just the habits of that's not yours. Like my mom gave me habits that I break and then they still come back to me like so her habits of look, let me tell you something. I didn't learn how to budget. I learned how to rob Peter for Paul. Like they've been robbing each other every day, all day long. And so I can create and manifest money out of disasters.
Right. I call people like you, people who create money for miracles. They wait until the 9th hour and then they produce a miracle and give thanks to God.
Let me tell you something. But it frustrates me. I no longer want to create the disaster that creates the miracle that, and then everyone for the past month has been prophesying a buku tsunami is what I heard last night of money, but then they're saying that there's a filter. There's like, it's right here, and there's like something I'm supposed to do to.
Well, what you're supposed to do is be disciplined. So that is, I assert.
Disciplined.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's that word.
That is discipline is everything. Any professional, any master, anyone that's good at what they do, you will see that there is a heightened level of discipline. Period and point blank. They do not let their dogs, cats, children, wives, husbands get in the way of whatever the discipline is. I used to be a ballerina. And I was young. It's 4th grade till I was about 22, 23 years old. Body, right? And so in that discipline, I used to get up. School was at 8. I was up at 5. After school, 3. I would go eat, do my homework. By 4:30, I was in that place doing whatever I needed to do. Over the weekends, I would do everything I needed to do. Over the years, I used to be a vegan vegetarian, supported my ballet, everything. So it takes discipline to master whatever you're up to, from doing hair to money, to loving someone, to arts, to business. It's the mastery. So the question is, what is getting in your way is the lack of discipline.
but wait a minute now, Lolita. So you said it takes discipline. Maybe she is disciplined in, oh, I ain't
Not
got it. I ain't got this no more. You know, so I mean,
That's not a discipline, though. You know, what I loved about what you did earlier is you looked up the dictionary, right, version of what discipline is. So in this context, we're talking about her having a tsunami amount of money based in her art form, her business, or the, you know, numerous things she's up to. What's missing is discipline. So she is getting what she wants, but that's because of the lack of discipline, which allows it not to manifest at the rate and at the level she is they're forecasting for her.
Was that suffice, Miss Noble Trade Nation?
Like, I don't want to hear that. That ain't the answer. What's the other answer?
That's absolutely it. Yeah. And yeah, that's very true, because not only have I been hearing that same prophecy, I've been hearing that same word. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've also been told that I'm the most disciplined person people have ever seen. So, but I can't BS myself.
And that's
so
probably it in your art, in your whatever you do. But we're talking about money now.
Yeah,
that's your weak muscle.
Life. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Like I was excellent at ballet and food, but you know, it's something else. I don't know, riding some bikes or something. You know, BMX style. I'm weak. I don't have no discipline in that. Meditation. That's a good one. Very poor meditation. I'm not very disciplined in that. So you can be disciplined in certain areas and not disciplined in others.
Yes. Okay. You're true.
And I just wanted to add that meditation or meditating offers that shift.
Yes.
It sure does. Just sit and be with yourself. It doesn't take long, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, close your eyes and just focus on nothing. You'd be surprised, the clarity. I mean, I can suggest something else, but this is not the show for that. So.
We love her. That's all I can say. We love her.
So thank you for answering our guests, and thank you to our guests for asking questions and just engaging. And I hope you know, that's the other thing. Watch your words, because words are flesh. So I no longer hope, I trust, because this walk, this life, it's a trust process. Trust and believe that. So I trust that we have fulfilled our intentions here. It was fun. It was valuable information. And you received something to know that, hey, I can do this. Some actionable steps. So Lolita, thank you for being here with us tonight. It has been truly an honor and a privilege just to have you gracing our stage on the SpeakerMC Show.
Thank you
all for attending tonight's show. It was really, really privileged and a blessing to have you, each and every one of you, here tonight. So our next show will be on November 5th, same time, same station, and we're talking about the green side is big food. Yeah. Are you being scammed with, oh, it's organic, and they charge you $15 for a leaf of lettuce? Watch the show. And now we are at the end of our broadcast. And I always quote my favorite mentor, Maya Angelou. She said, I've always learned that people will forget what you said. They'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And we trust that we've made you feel warm, fuzzy, and very enlightened. So with that, we'll bid you adieu until November 5th. And please make sure you make connections. Our guest, Dillis, could not be here. She is recuperating from an operation. And our guest Lolita has been here. So connect with her on moneymagnetuniverse.com or wakeupcoaching@gmail.com. And of course, connect with me, Marcia Chambers, aka Speaker MC at S.W.E.L.L for Women. And you can reach out to me at www.marciachambers.com. And with that, my beloveds, I wish you good night.
Good night. Thank you again.
And thank you.